It is day 21. You guys are getting close to day 30. I hope you're feeling the shift and make sure you follow them in sequence. It is designed in a way so that it works perfectly if you follow them in sequence. If you go back and forth, it may or may not work the way it is designed. Okay, and also if you find this helpful, please do share it with others, and you will have most fun if you do it with another person. If your friend is also in the dating game, if they are, they had a breakup or they had a divorce and they are somewhat healed, they feel that they're ready, because sometimes they may feel that they're ready and they're not, and sometimes they might be really ready. But this is one way to start to get out there to make sure that you're really feeling all those right emotions. And if you need to work on yourself, it will give you the trigger to work on yourself. So with that, let's get started. So today's topic is about how do you make sure when you are going out with somebody, they have a healthy pattern and you're not going for the potential, the fake potential, right? So there is one thing about going with the right potential, there is one thing going with the fake potential. So what I mean by that is, when you want to find the right person, you won't know on day one, or I don't know, not even on day 100, because it takes time to know somebody, right? So that person also will need to know a lot about you. You want to know a lot about them. And then you want to talk about your values and principles, and they also want to do the same, especially if you are doing it after midlife. If you're doing it after 40, you want to be extra careful, right? You don't want to be paranoid, but you want to be extra careful that your values and goals really do match, because if they don't, you will be going into a different direction, and that will be another recipe for disaster. John Gottman and Julie Gottman, they have been doing this research for 45 years, and they can predict a couple's divorce with 94% accuracy with just 3 minutes of conversation. And they don't even have to know the couple, see the couple. It's a pattern that follows. I have nothing to do with John Gottman and Julie Gottman. I'm not affiliated or anything. I am just super inspired by their study. So that's why I study a lot about it, because the statistics and the numbers are crazy to not get shocked with, right? They say 30 to 40% is the first marriage divorce rate, and 60 to 70% second marriage divorce rate. Third marriage, 75%. So now, why does all of this happen? Because people don't fully heal themselves, and then they attract other people based on the pain, because they're in that painful zone. They don't attract the right people. So two painful people together don't make things better. So you want to be here on the high frequency. You are feeling good, you are happy, so that you attract the people who are also in that high frequency zone. Okay, so now we are really getting started. So how to follow that, these three things. You guys know the mindfulness triangle, right? Thinking, speaking, action, TSA. So you want to start thinking about it, that you are not going to fall for a potential who are not keeping their word. So now on the surface, they may meet all your non-negotiables, the criteria, great, wonderful. Now you start talking to them and you see that they are keeping their promises somewhat, but not on a regular basis. Now people have emergencies. You guys might have a planned date, but some real urgent work stuff might have come up, or some family situation may have come up. But those should not be a repeat occurrence all the time, right? If you've been with a person for 6 months and you see that every month there is some emergency that is happening, it's like, there's something going on. So you want to think about that, right? And say you haven't gotten to the dating scene yet, but you're thinking there, and you are, because all of this, it's normal to have that anxiety about it before you go out there, because you may not have dated for 20 years, 25 years, right? So going out there is a little scary. So that's why you want to start thinking about it first. And as you do that, then you want to start speaking about it, that I attract a person who is consistent and matches my frequency, all of these things. And simple trick to do it like an affirmation is you talk to your friends, family, coworker, wherever you have a very good friend, you can talk about these things, who will think that this is normal and it's not crazy. Right? Some people thinking that you're crazy, and that's normal. That's okay, because people don't know what you went through in your life, right? Because everybody has a different journey, a tough journey that they go through. 8 billion people have 8 billion journeys in life, and a lot of pain and suffering arrives from the point to make other people understand our pain, other people understand what we are going through. They will never understand. They will never fully understand, right? I'll tell you the simple thing. So I have been here in this United States, this country, for 20 years. All my family is in India. Now, I have very good friends, and I'm like so grateful for them, like some really, really good friends, like family. But it's different. All the people I know, they have families here. It's not exactly the same thing. So in the last 20 years, when I went through many difficult challenges and I had to do all in my own, my friends are there for me, but it's not the same. So nobody will fully understand. So when they would give me some advice, it doesn't fully resonate a lot of time. And it is because everybody's intention is good, but nobody will understand. They will never be in my shoes, because people understand based on the surface that they see. It's like what's the thing? The iceberg, the top, only 10% is what people see. They communicate with you. They know only that version. And 90% of it, they will never see, they will never know. If the close friends probably will know about you, I don't know, like 60%, 70%, just a random number. And that is why they can help you more. They can give you advice that will resonate more. So again, what I'm going with this is, when you speak about those things, speak to a person who is close friends, not just, just an acquaintance or just a new friend, because they will never understand you and they might judge you, right? And then you don't want to be judged, especially when you are in this vulnerable situation. And that's why I keep saying that, like, when you are having fun with this kind of program, when you are doing together or something, like, do it with a close friend, so that you guys have fun about it, you're talking about it, instead of just sharing that, I'm doing this thing, and nobody's judging you. Because as much as we want to do our own thing, sometimes we get into that zone that we worry that somebody is judging us and stuff like that. Life is too short to be worrying about somebody's judging you. Trust me. Were there anybody there when you were suffering through your pain? I mean, you probably had friends and family who supported you, but day in and day out, you didn't have anybody 24/7. You had to do it in your own. So you know what is right for you, right? Okay. So now the action part. So action part is very, very important, where because ultimately when things change, it is from the action. But before taking the action, we think, we speak, and we do the action. In the industry, when I say industry, it's the self-help, self-transformation, self-development, whatever you want to call it as. They always talk about thinking, feeling, action. My concept is that there is no controlling the feeling. As soon as you have a thought, you have the feeling less than a split second. You cannot control your feeling. Can you? Now try that. So you probably thought something. As soon as you thought, you had the feeling with it, good, bad, whatever that was, unpleasant, pleasant. But the speaking is something what you can get into the habit of. Speaking is like an affirmation. And each word you speak works like an affirmation to the universe, to the higher power, God, whatever you believe in, right? Different people have different belief system. In my opinion, what is strongest is not what you believe in, how strong your belief is. So more strong your belief is, doesn't matter whatever different religion or belief you have, from that, your chances of taking your action will be more. Because think of this, if you knew that you have to go from point A to point B, and if you have the right life partner aligned with this version, would you stop taking your action? You will not. You are going to take all the action necessary to get to point B, because this is where it is your perfect life and all of that. It is here. So we will do whatever necessary to get to point B. And for that, you need to take actions, my friends. So if you want to find somebody who is not playing games, who is, consistent, they're not just a potential, they're real potential. When you're meeting with them, you're seeing that they're consistent and following through with what they're saying. What you want to do is, write those things down and then talk to your, those good friends. And from action perspective, literally for those people, you go out, and when you come back from date, write those things down on your journal, because that's where you're kind of, especially if you're in the beginning phase, you want to write those things in the journal. And you can even comment here, because you write those things down that, this is what I am aligning towards, because the universe, you're kind of letting universe know, you're kind of letting the higher power know that this is what you are aligning with. When you're in point B, the person is consistent and they're following through, because ultimately all of this comes from values. And when people register their midlife, everybody has some strong belief and values that they can't move away from. If somebody is, for example, schedule oriented, they are going to be schedule oriented. You cannot make them scattered, because it is in their DNA now. At the same time, if some people are like that, doing things at the last minute and not following schedule type of people, you just have to let them go. That person is not for you, because it's like, those, they are little things, but those little things can create big friction, because it's the pattern, it's the behavior, right? Some of the behavior, it's ingrained on a day-to-day level, that if two people come from, it's almost like, I'll tell you guys, the other day I gave example, right? So if I have a yellow Post-it, somebody might say that, okay, it's like turmeric color. Somebody might say it's mustard color, based on their familiarity with the yellow colored things. But now all of a sudden, I don't have a different Post-it here to show you guys an example. So let's see, what can I pick? I'll pick up this pen. So if somebody all of a sudden says, no, this is yellow, and you're saying yellow, like, no, that cannot match, right? So that is what I'm talking about. If somebody is very schedule oriented and somebody is not, it is like that difference, right? So it's not two different shades of yellow. We're talking about blue and yellow. So those things can create big problem later on in life. So of course it's not the color, but you guys know I just used a metaphor. So that's why you want to make sure that you guys are following through that. Somebody who is in that space, they have proven patterns. It's as simple as that. They have proven patterns. So when your action step again is going out on a date with the people who has proven pattern, and then first 1 or 2 times when you go on a date, you come back and you kind of align yourself with writing. So that way what happens is, it kind of, again, we can't change anyone else, we can only change ourselves. So as you do that, you are reinforcing that in your mind, so that even if this relationship doesn't work out, because you don't really know, at least until you spend a few months, if this is the right person for you, you are changing yourself so that you are going out with those right people, right? Or right for you, I mean, right? So that is why this is important. So let me know if you want any other specific topics you guys want me to cover after this series. I have several other things planned, but I will definitely take your points in consideration as I plan for the other series. And we have 9 days to go, so I hope you guys are really applying this and enjoying it and sharing it with others. I do see that from YouTube weekly reports that last week there was 13 shares, and thank you. I don't know who shared it, because YouTube shows in a report there were how many shares there were. There were 13 shares last week. Awesome, but I just don't know who shared it. So thank you to all of you if you are seeing this video, and if you are one of those who shared the videos. Thank you. Take care. Bye.